All right, so are we going to be able to fit 5.5 kilowatts of solar on the bus? Ideally, we would need all 18 panels that we have to be able to do that. We have two types of panels. We have the 310, which some of them are 305, some of them are like 327 watt, but probably average off to around a 310 watt across all 18 panels, and they vary a little in the mounting hardware and whatnot, but so here's all of our measurements. We have our bus, which is about 8 feet wide, and it is 33 feet long on the roof. What we have available for our roof, that's it right there, which is about 96 inches by 396 inches. Our panels that we have available we have some bigger ones. The 500 watts are a little bit wider. So if we install them like this, we end up with a little bit wider of a panel. So you can see my dotted lines means there would be a little bit more of a narrow walkway down the middle of the bus, and maybe it would maybe have to it would maybe infringe on some of the ventilation and stuff that's up there that we might have to work around later. So you can see 43.5 inches wide is what those are. These are 41.5 inches wide, so that's 2 inches wider. So it wouldn't be by much, but it would be 2 inches in, so we'd lose 4 inches on the walkway in the middle, which I would almost prefer to do. Or we got these ones. So I've already done all of the math, measured the panels, measured the roof, and we can fit a total of 4.8 of these long ways. So if we put them long ways this way, which would mean we would get 4.8 along here. So we can't put 0.8 panels up there, so we'd have to try to extend a little bit past the back and maybe a little bit past the front to make up for that 2/10 of a panel, and get us to 5 on each side, which would be 10 total out of these 500 watt panels, which would be 5 kilowatts. Out of these panels, we would be able to get 6.4 long ways down it, and that means we would need to extend off the back and the front a little bit further to be able to stretch in and get an extra 7th panel in there, doubling that. So 7 and 7 would be 14, and if we did 14 of these 310 watt panels, I didn't do the math. What's 14 times 310? The other math is easy to do. 310.
4,340.
Kilowatt. We'd end up with like a 4.3 kilowatt system with these panels. So these are SunPower panels. These are not even sure they're really branded. So they're spec'd for 500 watts exactly. Makes you kind of wonder if they're more like 400 and something watt panels. So the only reason I'm unsure about these ones is the glass is really big on these ones, and driving on the bus, you're going to get that vibration, and that panel, since the glass is so big, is going to want to bounce and vibrate, you know, under the driving conditions. And I can't say that these panels were made for that. With the smaller glass, they may hold up a little bit better to driving conditions. So that's kind of the ups and downs of the solar system, trying to squeeze as much as we can out of it. The frames on all of these are consistent versus the frames on these ones are not consistent. So we can't quite fit 5.5 kilowatts of solar, but it doesn't mean we're going to stop trying.